Okay, so this is issue 4 of Lobo. Shockingly enough, it's a crossover with Supergirl because obviously we've got the Supergirl movie coming out or out now. It's Lobo. It's a Bisley cover. It's fine, but I generally prefer Bisley's pen and ink stuff over his painted stuff. But I didn't know that when it came out, so I think there might be better covers in there. But this is fine. I think we do get a cover in here anyway, which is fine. The Girls Women Tomorrow one. What can I say about this one? It's just more nonsense, really. So Lobo gets his bounty hunting license back, and then he decides to make himself look nicer and burns his hair off his face and burns the hair off the face of the dog and all this kind of nonsense. This little dude goes in here as well, and apparently they want to go to another planet, which has got a Fortress of Solitude on it, where they're selling Superman merchandise. And this Fortress of Solitude apparently is a storeroom for stuff that you can't store on Earth. Again, is it? Sounds stupid to me. Anyway, when they get inside, they're attacked by these robots, which all look like the granny lady again. Why, I don't know. Makes no sense. And then, surprisingly enough, as they're kind of looking around, the dog is barking, and Supergirl turns up with Crypto. I actually quite like the version of Supergirl. This is actually a pretty cool version of her. Artwork-wise, attitude-wise, I think she's a little bit too snarky, and it doesn't. This is the problem. I know I wasn't massively enjoying the Supergirl from Sophie Campbell series because it was a little bit too low risk, but the Supergirl in it felt more like Supergirl. This feels like the snarky one that's in the movie, which immediately, again, I'm never going to see the movie because I've never seen any of the DC stuff for ages. But as soon as she appeared, it's like, oh, I really like Supergirl, and I do really like Supergirl. And then she was really snarky and arsey, and I thought, yeah, you've ruined that. There's no that attitude. Can't stand. Don't like that attitude. She should be hopeful, like Clark is, in Kal-El. That's it. And this kind of takes that snarky version a little bit. It's not quite as bad as that, but it's a real shame they went into that version for the film. But yeah, it's a bit of a fight, and it's quite cool. We get to showcase some of Supergirl's power, which is pretty decent. And then these dudes turn up, and they're really annoyed because the two dogs have gone off and done bad stuff, and then they're arrested. And again, they just shout at each other, which I just think is silly. And then they're put inside, and then the story continues in the Supergirl special, which means I will never read the end of the story. I did consider buying the Supergirl special, but it's £6.50. And I don't think that this story was good enough for me to justify paying that for the second half of it. I'd rather not know. I don't care. So that's issue 4 of Lobo. Now, I can't remember if I've seen issue 4, issue 5, and I've seen some solicitations for a future issue. We don't seem to be on the cancellation level of it yet, which again, I don't know if that's a thing or not, because a lot of this all-in stuff may have been planned to be 6 issues, 9 issues, whatever. Maybe Lobo's selling enough that it can sustain the series. But this is definitely on the shaky pull list from if we get another DC book that's more interesting. Now, we've got the Demon coming up. Could be good. Depends how they write him. We also have a Doom Patrol coming up. Now, Doom Patrol, I love Doom Patrol. So it's likely that if I don't switch this out before then, that'll be switched out for Doom Patrol. Unless this shows some massive improvement, in my opinion. I just don't like this. I've just done Dread stuff. You can only have so much parody, and this is why the Lobo stuff always worked better as a miniseries. 4-issue miniseries, you did a gag, you moved on. 4-issue miniseries, did a gag, moved on. This is 4 issues into it now. We've had a different story every single issue because it's just a gag. It's just a book about gags, and the Justice League, Justice League Europe, Justice League America era was a gag book, but at least add story to it. This just seems to be, wouldn't it be funny if Lobo shot some people? Well, not really, no. It'd be better if there was a reason for it. Anyway, so yeah, real disappointed in Lobo, really. Again, like I said before, I preferred him in the era in 52 where he actually seemed to have a purpose. I preferred him in the Legion 89, 88 books, whatever they were, when he seemed to have a purpose. This being the gag Deadpool style character that he now is, just really doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid. So that's a shame. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling for now. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.